So, in this video, I'm going to be discussing the concept of buying on margin or investing on margin. I'm going to be going over the idea of basically how it works, the major keys and terms you need to know, and ending off with an example. So, what is buying on margin? It's basically making an investment, except that you don't put in all of the money. Part of the investment is actually borrowed money, be it from your broker or some other party that assists you in the investment. So, let's say you want to invest a specific amount of money in stocks. You have $1,500. Now, let's say the broker you go to specifies that he will lend you money, but the margin requirement is that you need to keep 75% of it, and the broker will give you 25% of the total investment. So you can visualize this as a sort of diagram where you invest part of it. Let's say, this is not to scale, but of the 100% of the investment, you are putting in part of the money, and the broker is going to put part of the money. Your portion has to be 75%, and the broker would put in the rest of the 25%. Now, if you want to invest $1,500, your $1,500 represents the 75% of the entire investment that you can potentially make. So, using some simple algebra and calculations, you can find out that in this situation, the broker will lend you $500. Because of this whole investment, if you have $1,500 and your broker lends you $500, you have a grand total of $2,000 to invest, of which $500 over $2,000 is 25%, which comes from your broker, and $1,500 over the grand total of $2,000 is 75%, which is the money that you put in. Now, the broker will lend you this money, but the sort of catch is that after you see a positive return on investment, the broker will charge you a thing called broker fees, where they will be entitled to a specific portion of the proceeds. So let's say 2% or 1%. It'll usually be specified in the question. So they lend you the money, but in the end they make a portion of the money as well. Another thing to know here is that if the broker specifies that you need to have 75% of the money as your own, that has to stay consistent no matter what happens to the value of the investment. So what does that mean? That essentially means that this investment is worth $2,000 now. Let's say in the future, let's say today you buy stocks with this. In the future, the stock price falls and you lose a lot of money. Let's say in the future, you are only left with $1,000. Okay, so now in this $1,000, you still need to have 75% of the $1,000, which means that over here, initially, your broker had lent you $500 of the total $2,000, but now the investment's only worth $1,000. So technically, the broker had given you $500, the investment is worth $1,000, and 500 over 1,000 is 0.5. So technically, the broker has now lent you 50%, which is sort of in violation of the contract. So, in this situation, you need to sort of put in, it's called a margin call, which means you need to put in enough money so that the investment goes back to the ratios where you have put in 75% and your broker has put in only 25%. So, now that we're clear on this sort of examples, I will be demonstrating with an example.